This is Android Basics, in which we bring you up to date on the things that you should know to use your Android phone.
Up next, we move on to our Android Basics segment, and this week we're talking about two great stuff. Out of the blue, Google surprised us with an Android 14 Beta 5. Of course, I think they had to, because the whole thing has been a disaster, if you ask me, this whole Android 14 experience. So many bugs, so many problems, and all of that. And people were still observing reboots, random reboots, and all of that. So Google, even though they said we were only going to have 4 betas, they realized something was up. So we had a 5th beta of Android 14. Austin, I know you have it. How is it going for you? I know I have it.
So the beta is going good, and there are some still bugs on 5G because the device is still getting warm. So there are some very minor bugs, but I think the main release may be delayed because I think we should get at least 2 release candidates in.
We'll see what happens. I think this probably could be the last one.
Wasn't there a song, "This Could Be the Last Time"?
It could be. Now, let's see if there's anything on there. There were a total of like 39 items in this beta. So there was a lot that needed to be fixed. And so Google decided to do that. Now, the one thing that I want to mention, which was also done in beta 4, was that accessibility thing having to do with TalkBack, whereupon if you unlock the screen, it will say screen lock, and before it says screen unlocked. So that was supposed to fix it in beta 4. It did, but somehow now and then I would hear it say device locked, even when it's unlocked. Now with this beta 5, every time I unlock it, it says unlocked. So it's totally, truly fixed this time around as to beta 4 that didn't quite fix it. So I'm glad they noticed that and fixed that. How about the One UI 6? That's Samsung now. Samsung jumped on the beta. And John, you installed that on yours, right? And could you tell us if it has some of the things that we were wishing it has, especially, say, actions and things like that? Does this One UI 6 based on Android 14 that has TalkBack 14.0, how does that compare with the TalkBack we have from Google?
Yeah, so I just installed it last night, so I haven't had too much time with it. But there's good news and bad news. The good news is that it comes with TalkBack 14. The bad news is that it's still coming from the Galaxy Store. I know it sounds silly, but I was hoping that because they hadn't updated TalkBack in a year, they had just decided to abandon it and they were going to switch over to getting it from the Play Store like everybody else. But that's not the case. It's still coming from the Galaxy Store. They've just apparently decided to switch to a yearly update schedule because they're literally going from 13.5, which is actually based on 13.0, straight to 14.0. But yes, it does include actions, and just through looking through the settings, it does seem to have everything that the Google version of 14.0 has. But now the question is, when everybody else gets 14.1, what's going to happen to Samsung users? How long are they going to be waiting?
Not much, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like normal. But so can I get that from the Galaxy Store now, or do I have to be in a beta program to do that?
I think it's similar to how Google did it. It's not available in the Galaxy Store right now, as far as I know. So you have to be on the beta to get it, but I'm assuming they're going to release it in the Galaxy Store before they release One UI. So you'll probably get it as an update before you get a full update to your phone.
Right.
If I had to guess.
That makes sense because it's not, you have to have One UI 6 in order to get it. And only the S23 series has access right now, and only people in the US, Germany, and South Korea, of course. So, but I'm sure, like John says, once they roll these things out to other regions, my gut feeling is that they will bring that TalkBack, updated TalkBack to the Galaxy Store. So between now and say maybe give or take the end of September, we probably should be able to see that on the Galaxy Store.
Oh, I hope it's before that because I'm sick of using Brailleback. Because my Braille didn't work at all every time I connect a Braille display to my S22 at the moment. The whole of TalkBack crashes. So I'm back to turning that off and using Brailleback, and it's very old, literally. And to me, it's also very old, and I want proper Brailleback rather than Brailleback. That's confusing, isn't it?
It is very confusing. It's a play on words, and I love
Yes.
it. Now, Samsung, if you are listening, stop these annual updates to TalkBack and do it when it's out there for the Google Play Store. We're tired of
Better
it.
yet, just let us use the Google one, please.
That would be great. But Samsung is Samsung, and that's fine. But all I'm asking is that when Google updates theirs, try to be in sync and
Yeah,
put it
or
on your store.
just let us use theirs instead of reinventing the wheel. There's no need for that.
Yeah.
Silly people.
We want a bicycle wheel here. This is it's just something different.